Hello, and thank you for joining me for craft time at the Clarksville-Montgomery County Public Library. I'm Miss Joanna, and this week we've been doing stories all about snow. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own little paper snow globe doing some finger painting. So you're going to need some paper. I've cut a blue circle out of some construction paper. If you don't have blue construction paper, you can use regular printer paper and color it blue. To get your circle, I've already cut mine out, but you could trace a bowl, you could trace a small plate, whatever size circle you can find in your house that you can trace to make that circle and cut it out. And then I'm using some black construction paper to make the bottom of my snow globe. So I'm going to start off making it look more like a snow globe before I color it in. So I'm just going to cut a small rectangle shape from my paper. You could attach it to the bottom. I like to make it look more like a stand, so I'm just kind of going to cut a little bit of a curve here. You can have an adult help you out with this part. You can draw ahead of time what shape you want it to look like before you cut it out. So I just cut it down to look more like the stand of a snow globe. So once you're happy with how it looks, you can use a glue stick, you can use some school glue, whatever you have, maybe some tape, to just attach that to the bottom. So now that we have our snow globe, it's the fun part. We get to do the finger painting. So you'll need white paint, of course, for your snow. And then I'm going to use orange paint and black paint to add some details to my snowman. But if you don't have those, you could let your paint dry and then just use some crayons or some markers, whatever you have on hand. And I'm just going to use a piece of paper to put my paint on. I don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. And dip your finger in, but then dot it off a little bit on the paper. Because if you don't do that, you're going to get big globs that come out on your snow globe, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to be dotting it around like this to make snow, and then I'll add my snowman in later. So you can just put it wherever you want. And no two snowflakes are the same, so it doesn't matter what yours look like. You can just make some bigger ones, some smaller ones. You can press down harder to make them a darker color. You can do lighter to make them more faded so it looks like there's some in the distance. And so you see, there's all of my snowflakes, but now I need my snowman. And so I'm gonna do the snowman just the same way I did those, except I'm gonna make them, my fingerprints, a little closer together. So let me get a little bit of that off. Do you like building snowmen when we have snow days? I do. I like to go sledding too. And maybe make some snow angels. There's all sorts of fun stuff you can do when it snows. But I also like just to stay inside and read a book and have some hot chocolate. Especially if I have some marshmallows for my hot chocolate. All right, so I've got the bottom of my snowman. So now I'm just going to continue on and build more of his body. And then I usually make my snowmen with the 3 big snowballs. So I'm going to add his face on top. All right. So he doesn't look very much like a snowman just yet. So I'm going to add his hat and his face on still. So for his hat, I'm going to use a little bit of black paint. So you don't need much, just a little bit. And I'm going to use a different finger than the one that I was using for the white paint. And again, I want to dab off that excess. All right, I'm going to draw a straight line across where the brim of his hat should be. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a square shape on top of that so it looks like he's wearing a nice black top hat. If you have some other color paints, you can maybe give him a scarf, or if you have some brown, you could make arms for him. You can make him look however you want him to look. But I've just given him kind of a hat shape on top. So now I want to give him some eyes. And I just want just a little bit of paint for that, because I just want a small dot for each eye. So it looks like he has coal for eyes. And then I might give him a coal mouth too, just by putting those dots there. But now I'm going to do the finishing touch. I have a little bit of orange, so I'll do a dot in the center for his carrot nose. And again, if you don't have paint, you can use crayons after, just let the paint dry first and then use your crayons or your markers or whatever coloring utensils you have to draw his face. But there he is. That's my finished snow globe. You could also go in if you have maybe some metallic markers, write your name or something like that down the bottom of the base. If you do make these, we'd love to see them. Feel free to come back and leave a comment showing us a picture of your snow globe or whatever other finger painting creation that you might like to make. But thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon.